Hello and welcome to another colouring review from Colour with Claire. Today I'm reviewing the Magical Jungle postcard set from Johanna Basford. These are 36 postcards with images all from the book Magical Jungle, and if you brought the Lost Ocean postcards last year you will notice a few differences between these. First of all, there are only 36 postcards included in this set, whereas I believe there were 50 in Lost Ocean. I'm not sure why that number has reduced so much. And also, I believe the Lost Ocean postcards were presented in a box. I might be wrong because I didn't actually review them personally, but I believe that they were. Whereas the Magical Jungle postcards, as you will see, have been formatted in this lovely open up format here with the leaves that you just open up and illustrations on the inside. The postcards are here in the middle, and as you will see if you lift them up you can also colour the insert as well. Now, as you'll see already, these postcards have started to detach themselves from the glue and fall apart, and I've only been through them a couple of times, so that is something to note. The glue is, the binding is not great and they will come out even if you don't mean for them to. You'll probably be colouring one and as you move them around you'll notice they start to come loose and detach. That might be okay for people who just are going to detach them all anyway, because obviously postcards are designed to be sent individually, but it's something just to note. So as we go through, you will see that these are all images from Magical Jungle which have been scaled right down to fit on these postcards. Now, this was a problem with the Lost Ocean postcards, I believe, because the Lost Ocean illustrations were already incredibly intricate when they were in the colouring book, but Magical Jungle isn't as intricate as Lost Ocean. It still has lots of detail, but there's not too much tiny weeny intricate spaces to colour. There still is some, but there's just not as much as Lost Ocean. So the formatting and the scaling down of the images isn't as bad as it was before, but there are still some really tiny spaces, so just keep that in mind. I'm just stopping on this page here because this is actually a duplicate. Further on down you will see that this has been printed twice. This is a printing error and it is being sorted out by the publishing company, and Johanna herself has just this afternoon published a post on her Facebook page which gives you a free download to say a bit of a sorry for the printing error. This is included in the 36 postcards, so if you have received one of these editions you will only be getting 35 individual designs. So here we move on to the one that I've coloured. Now, as you can see, it just comes out straight away, and I'm really disappointed actually by the style of card used, because it really does not take pens or pencils well at all. As you can see here, I've used Staedtler water-based pens, normal Tri-Plus pens, which Johanna herself promotes, and you can see this awful speckly texture that the pens have left, and it does feel almost like the card is repelling the ink. It just doesn't sit right, it doesn't soak into the card, it just sort of sits on the surface and just leaves this horrible speckly look, which just isn't great. And as for pencils, I use Prismacolor to do the purple background on this and also the pink elephant. And even though Prismas are really soft and really easy to lay down and they blend really nicely, you'll see there's still lots of white space and speckly sort of look to it. And I even did try and burnish it, but it just wasn't happening at all. So yeah, pens and pencils just don't cut it on this card, I'm afraid, which is a real shame because we do associate Johanna's name with quality and beautiful illustrations, which of course they still are, but I would have liked to have had paper that would perform well with, you know, the pens and pencils that most people use. Here again is that duplicate, and as we move through you will see that some of the images are horizontally aligned and spaced in the middle, so they're centered, whereas some of them are portrait and they fill the whole page or the whole card. So there are a lot of horizontal ones. Here's a portrait one of this flying bug. We have a good one here for those who don't like intricate spaces and they might want to practice some blends, and you've got lots of space here to do that within the leaves. We have the lovely hippo one, another building. Some of the ribbon style ones that Johanna does. And as I said earlier, there are some that have really wide spaces and they allow you to not be too careful with your colouring, but there are others like this one which are really intricate and busy and have really small spaces. And as you can see, that one's just come out of its own accord there. So lots and lots of leaves, as we're used to with Johanna, and especially in a jungle you will find lots of leaves, but we've also got creatures and buildings and other things there. Excuse me, I've got hay fever and it's absolutely ruining my day. I really need to take some tablets, just can't stop sniffling. So we've got the elephant, we've got the flamingos, and then we come to the end. So really hard for me to recommend these, unfortunately, and I don't like not being able to recommend things, but I've got to be honest with you guys, not something that I would choose to pay for if I knew what the production quality was like. I mean, they look absolutely lovely, there's no contest there, it's just the way that the card handles paper and pens, to be honest. They're $8.99 on Amazon, which isn't really that bad of a price for a decent amount of postcards, but you know, I still think it's a lot for something you might get a duplicate with if that's not been sorted out yet, and for the obviously how they perform. So I hope you enjoyed watching this review. Again, I'm really sorry that it wasn't a positive one, but I've just got to be honest, and I'll leave the link in the description if you do want to buy them. It's totally up to you, and yeah, I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.